All right, good evening, everybody. Got a full house on here tonight. About 163 of you. I've invited a few more. Going to talk a little bit about what's going on right now. Things are quiet. Today was kind of a day that went as expected. We didn't go with the first alert weather day. I did not see the rainbow, by the way, either. I'm sure there were some of them out there. There were a lot of cool clouds out there today. But we didn't go first alert weather day. We debated it, but I didn't agree with the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. In fact, there have been no damage reports in the entire state. They had a slight risk out for the entire state. So the setup just wasn't there. So we didn't want to sound the alarm on the first alert weather day. Good thing we didn't. And I'm glad we didn't have severe weather, but that's just kind of the way it goes. Storm Prediction Center, I've mentioned it several times here. They've been very, very aggressive with their outlooks this year, and they've all been about one above what they should be. And that goes back to, I think it was March when we had that high risk, and it did not perform at all, which was good. But again, there comes a point when there's just some things become too alarming, and I don't like that trend, and it's a trend that's here to stay, unfortunately. Here's what we're dealing with tonight. We got the front that's still up to the north near Columbia and Murfreesboro. It's dropping southeast. Don't think it's going to give us any problems. Maybe a little bit of lightning here and there, but it's very isolated in nature here, and we'll continue to watch that as it slowly moves on in. Looks like they did have some kind of a severe thunderstorm warning trigger pulled there in Tupelo for that little bitty cell. But storms this week, we'll talk about it. We've got more storms coming. Thursday's our next chance for some showers and storms. I will tell you, we go into the weekend. I think we're going to have thunderstorms this weekend, but I don't see any severe threat. These are going to be classic summertime air mass thunderstorms. There's nothing else really driving it. We don't have any low-level jets to talk about. We don't have a lot of helicity to talk about. So I think it's going to be your typical mid-June weather pattern. Right now we're in the 70s, but we're going to see some fog overnight tonight. And here's about midnight, maybe a very isolated shower, a rogue thunder shower. That'll be it. Through the overnight hours, the calm wind. Yeah, we do need a good weekend, but unfortunately, Father's Day weekend is not going to be one. It doesn't look like it. Again, we're going to be looking for showers and thunderstorms. They're going to pop up with the heating of the day beginning Friday, and that same pattern is going to play out probably through at least Father's Day Sunday. And there's nothing we can do about it. But we will see more rain on the weekend. 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, some patchy fog. It's going to take a while to burn off, probably 9 a.m. Fog burns off. A very nice noon hour tomorrow with temperatures in the low to mid-80s. The wind's going to be light, but the humidity is going to be very low compared to what it has been. We've had the air you can wear in town for a while, and it'll leave town tonight. We say goodbye. 3:45 tomorrow afternoon, looking good, maybe 85, 86 degrees, barely a breeze, so good lake weather, good pool weather tomorrow, and for some of you, just good weather to go back to work, right? Can't catch a break on some of this. Here's your mowing forecast. Get it done while it's dry. We've got good weather for it, probably all the way through Thursday as far as the mowing forecast goes. Friday, we'll go fair, and I think we could probably just say poor as we go through the weekend. So here's your 3-day forecast. Temperatures around 85 tomorrow, 87 Wednesday, and then we're looking at 87 Thursday. And late in the day, a chance for some showers and storms. Now, when I come back, we're going to talk about these Friday shower and thunderstorms, and then also talk about your Father's Day weekend. That's coming up right after this 1-minute break. All right, we're back. Got a few more comments on here. We'll start full screen. Yeah, hope the weekend is clear. We have not had a good weekend for quite some time. And again, looking at another weekend with rain. We're going to talk more about this coming up in just a second. But when we look at, if we look at the weekend, I think what we're going to see is thunderstorms are going to develop as we get into the heating of the day. They're air mass type thunderstorms, so they pop up and then they fall apart in place. So you could see some isolated strong wind gusts when those storms collapse, but we're going to be looking at outflow boundaries are going to drive the showers and thunderstorms instead of a front. And it's going to play out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks for tuning in, Evelyn from Coleman County tonight. Again, I've had some rough weather. I didn't see the rainbow earlier, but some of you got like 2 inches of rain in 20 minutes today. So it was coming down, and I could tell when I got home on my dinner break that I could tell how I kind of have a watermark basically out in the yard on the patio. So let's talk about your forecast. And here's that rain on the roof forecast. Again, we're going to get 3 days back to back to back, mostly dry. Thursday is a challenge late in the day. And whenever you kind of flip the pattern here, that first day of the pattern change is the more difficult day to predict. Friday, Saturday, we're kind of locked into these scattered showers and thunderstorms. So here's a look at Friday. I think it's going to be a mid-afternoon kind of thing. So it's going to be mostly cloudy, and here come the showers and storms. So they're going to develop at some point probably in the southern part of the viewing area, and then they're going to creep north as we get later into the day. So some of you may have to deal with some showers and a few thunderstorms later in the evening. That's most likely close to the Alabama-Tennessee state line. And let's see. Yeah, a lot of shelf clouds out there. Dawn sent me one too. Yeah, a lot of shelf clouds going on today. A lot of motion with the clouds. Whenever you get this much water, this tropical air mass, you see every move that the thunderstorms make. So they looked a lot worse than they were. The bark was worse than the bite. By 10 o'clock, I think most of this is faded away Friday night. So we're going to have perfect patio weather the next 2 nights. The mornings are going to be great, except some fog. Tonight down to 64, partly cloudy, patchy fog, and then 85, partly sunny tomorrow. A really nice pattern for at least 2 days. We'll count Thursday as half day on that. But there's your weekend. Saturday, Sunday, 50% chance of rain, 70% for Sunday. We're just going to be locked in a pattern that is going to be driving thunderstorms that develop with the heating of the day. I don't see any severe weather threat from this, but we'll keep an eye on it. It's been a wild 2 months here in North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee, but I don't see a severe weather threat, at least anything organized. And again, going back on today, we didn't do the first alert weather day because we just didn't agree with the Storm Prediction Center outlook. It had the entire state under a slight risk, yet none of the ingredients were really showing up for that, let alone even a marginal risk. So again, when we don't agree, we don't forecast that kind of weather. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow night here at 9:30, plus coming up on 48 News at 10. I'll have the latest forecast guidance and look at radar regarding what's out there right now. Just a few more showers. I don't expect any strong thunderstorms for the rest of the night. Appreciate you tuning in.